shoulder. I know you want more of this. Want you to choose my body with those fingertips. Whisper my name with your lips. Street lights flashing like a disco in your eyes. Tell me, baby, let's go. How much does she know, and what do you say to your friends?
be so young and free. Yeah, baby, don't treat me like a machine. I could still be just what you need. No, baby, don't treat me like a machine. Wanna go to your apartment, take it back to where we started. Yeah, baby, don't treat me like a machine. I could still be just what you need. No, baby, don't treat me like a machine. We used to be so young and free. Yeah, baby, don't treat me like a machine. I could still be just what you need. No, baby, don't treat me like a machine. Wanna go to your apartment, take it back to where we started. We'll be everything you wanted, you wanted, you wanted. And I know it could be perfect, and I know it would be worth it. We'll be everything you wanted, you wanted, you wanted, 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 you wanted, 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 you wanted, 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 you wanted.
You never stop calling me crazy, but you the one that's fucking crazy. And it's time for me to run. Yeah, it's time for me to go. I won't stick around for you.
I live 17 floors up, and when it rains I can feel those drops in my window pane. Lets me know that I'm still here. But when the sun comes out I will go outside. When it breaks through clouds I will give a smile. Lets me know that I'm still here. Sometimes I want to run away, to find good times again, to find all my old friends. Good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again, and good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again, and
Hello, ladies and gentlemen across the world. Welcome to the Open Overwatch Open Division Season 3 coverage brought to you by Broadcast.gg. I'm going to be your host today. My name is Ham Tornado, and I will be joined by my lovely desk of Kenobi and Panda. Good afternoon, EU folks. Good morning, NA folks. If anybody are tuning in, hope you got your coffee, your Tabasco sauce, wakey, because we have some spicy matchups coming right off the bat. But, just for any of our new viewers who are just now tuning in, this is Open Division, that first step in the Overwatch path to pro, sending players from the rank ladder, hopefully into the upper echelons of Overwatch League. That's a little bit of enough gum flapping from me, though. Kenobi, Panda, welcome. Could you just, go over this tournament format a little bit, catch everybody up?
Yeah, sure. The Open Division is going to be played in a Swiss system. For those that are unfamiliar, there were a multitude of teams that did enter into this tournament. So all these teams will be playing against each other across a 5-week span, facing each other with similar win-loss records. They're going to be accumulating into this final week of a Sweet 16 variant and a final week best of final elimination tournament. There's probably a better way that I could have said that for sure, but I'm pretty sure I got the point across.
Oh, no. All the information has been thrown out. So this will be two teams matching each other. They're both coming in here 1-0. So you got that early series win. But these are actually, while the team names may be unfamiliar to some of our viewers, this will be Team Coherence versus Shoes Money Crew. The players in here will be familiar to anybody who's been following the Overwatch T3 scene. Kenobi, I'll start off with you. Team Coherence, what can you tell us about them?
Well, Team Coherence is a team that has been around for a while. I think there are probably some people in the audience who are aware of this team's name, and definitely some of the players that are on it. You have Proggy and Otter, the tank duo that's there. Rounding it out with the DPS, you're going to have Obling and Worse. Also, Obling, one of those names, very well known in Tier 3 Overwatch as well. And then on the supports, you have Kara and Konga. And Kara, as we know, one of our friends here at Broadcast.gg was on the desk actually for last Open Division that we did. So we're definitely familiar with him. I think the audience is as well. Kara also ex-Dopamine players, so has a lot of experience in this region. They have been together for 2 weeks, this specific iteration of Team Coherence, but as I mentioned, the team has been around for a while, and the team, how they like to practice and do their VOD reviews. Their VOD reviews twice a week and scrim 8 to 9 times a week. So that's more than once a day. That's a lot of Overwatch that they're getting in. And it seems like with their first map, it seems to have paid off so far, but definitely a long way to go still for Team Coherence.
Yeah, they're starting off the season pretty hot, though, and Coherence, for if any of you guys have been staying current with the ESL Go For, you may also be familiar with them. They've competed there, taken away a couple of championships as well. So certainly a strong contender in this season. But Panda, how about Shoes Money Crew? Some familiar names here as well.
Some high value names at that. They've only been playing together for about 2 weeks, but the ragtag group of Shoes Money Crew EU is brought to you with Trispear, Mouse, Colsty, Zeal, Izzy, and one of my personal favorite of an EU off-tank style of barbecue. Very good on the Diva. Fantastic. Big bombs to come out of this play. And not to mention the defense matrix play. Expect big things to come out of barbecue and that back line of Trispear as well. Very, very versatile with those orbs of destruction, as many Zenyatas are. I'm looking forward to the 1v1 of these support lines of both Trispear, Izzy versus Kara. It's going to be a lot of big brain plays coming out of these supports today.
Big brains and some potential head-to-heads. You bring up that off-tank line, that support line. This is pretty early in the season, but I'll give our analysts, the chance to start their prediction record off to a good start right here. Any predictions? Both of these teams quite strong, a lot of veteran players. Kenobi, do you have any inkling? Shake that, magic 8-ball. Who's going to be taking this?
Yeah, I'll shake the 8-ball right here. I don't have it with me, but it's somewhere in my room. I think probably it's going to be Team Coherence. They just have a little bit more experience on my end. I'm more familiar with these players as well. So it's definitely going to be a close one. I think it could go all 5 games. Definitely, that is a possibility. But I think in the end, it's going to be Team Coherence that's going to edge it out.
Team Coherence, 1 point here for Kenobi. Panda, what do you have to say?
This game's definitely going to a map 5 for sure, but I mean, with Shoes Money Crew having past members from That's a Disband, Bazooka Puppies, I'm going to go ahead and give them with the sheer grit of just pure micro skill. I mean, we're going to be watching Mouse versus Obling in these sniper duels and the Tracer 1v1s as well. I'll give it in a map 5, but I'll give it to Shoes Money Crew.
Tracers, Widows, Bears, oh my, that's a 1 for each side here. So casters, take it away. We got the lovely British boys, those beautiful buttered English muffins, John Allen and Blank, to guide us through these games. Take it away, guys.
I don't know how tasty we're going to be, but thank you very much, Ham. It's going to be a really good, fun one. For my first time here on the casting for Broadcast.gg, so I'm pretty excited to get underway, especially with the matchup on the cards, Blank.
Yeah, this is a massive matchup, right? I mean, we've got players from Bazooka Puppies, ex-Singularity players on Shoes Money Crew. Coherence, they've got a lineup that's had a huge amount of experience. The main thing to note out here is what Kenobi highlighted on Desk was both these teams have only been together about 2 weeks apiece. So the question is, do all these oil parts taken from random machines around the globe come together and make one massive tank? This is the question in mind. But Coherence, like Kenobi said, they've been scrimming 8 to 9 times a week, and they VOD review twice a week as well. I'm not sure on the side of Shoes Money Crew, so we'll see how that goes. We are going to be moving into Nepal. It will be in Lijiang Tower at the moment. The pick was from Kara, so we're going back to the lobby for the time being. We'll get straight back into this one. So,
Nepal, over on Nepal, pretty exciting. Obviously, quite sometimes you get some slightly different picks coming out here over a couple of different maps. You've got that Sanctum, which kind of plays a little bit differently in a couple of these comps.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, if you've been keeping up with South America contenders, we are going straight to Shrine first map. Or not Shrine, sorry, we're going straight to Village. But this is a map that allows you to play Reaper a lot. So I'd be interested to see on both sides. But as Hammond has come more into meta, or Wrecking Ball, whatever you please, we're going to go Hammond for this cast.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah, I've made the decision. I've made the decision.
We've had executive seal and signed off.
Yeah, exactly. But this guy is Hammond is mainly used for area denial, and he's great. I mean, like, you used to be able to play Junkrat, and he's still great, but Junkrat holds down like small areas, whereas Hammond can control maps, and that's extremely important, especially on Village when there are small areas where supports can go to hide. And perhaps you're not in safety anymore because Hammond is in play.
With these close ranges as well, you are looking at, as you mentioned earlier, looking at that Reaper and thinking, trying to deny that area is really important about zoning out that Reaper. And if Wrecking Ball is able to do that, he can make it work for his team. But we're only going to be seeing one roll out on the side of Shumari Crew.
It's a pretty interesting team comp from the side of Coherence actually here, because they're playing two pretty much executive players who will be exclusively playing by themselves, but immediately the aggression is in.
Hacks going through onto the Diva. Otter gets demeched already into the fight. That's brilliant pressure coming forwards from Shumari Crew. They are going to trade it back, however, with the Doomfist out of the fray. There's a little bit less forwards momentum. Mao's solo DPS now. They are going to rotate onto the point. Coherence making sure that they have control of it for now, but in comes the Wrecking Ball trying to disrupt Diva in the front line as well. They're pressuring them out the backside of the point, and they're flanked. They're split up just a little bit. Zeal's back into the fight as well because of this extended fray. They have managed to take control of the point now. Shoes Money Crew get the tick, and they are seeing Coherence off.
This fight just all went down to just solely because of Zeal. The added damage and added burst that's available to cut through the sustain on the side of Coherence is just incredible. Whereas you do see the side of Coherence, they're running Tracer here. Now, Tracer is not able to burst down targets as quickly, especially when there's a Lucio, especially when there's a Moira in play. So Zeal's going to be the big target, and already Tri-Spear has got a nano boost, as well as Meteor Strike able to shut down any supports on the side of Coherence.
They're going in with the Coalescence. They're going to engage on it, but it's behind the wall. Not to matter, though. There's plenty of damage pouring on through from that high ground. They trade it 1 for 2 so far with the DMEC as well, but in comes the hack. The Sombra trying to create that space, but it's not going to work out too well. They are going to be able to keep it down, and Coherence stay strong.
A massive amount of overconfidence coming out from the side of Shoes Money Crew here, investing so many ultimates. 4 to be precise. They dropped the nano boost onto Diva after they lost 2 critical members, and basically Coherence were able to just take it after that. They also have the EMP covered this next fight as well, John, which could be huge here, especially as they're funneling through this small Aptra on the top side. That's going to give a massive opportunity to Obling to find this large 6-man EMP.
A big swap, though, off the Doomfist for Zeal onto the Genji. Seeing if he can dive onto that backlines. Out the top ground, they're going to go. Self-destruct sequence chucked up into the air. They are going to just fall it on back. They have to remech in there. There's a Primal Rage Winston, however. And the Tracer as well in the backlines takes down the Sombra. So no EMP being built up just yet. They're staying in this small room, and they cannot get out. The Moira chucks in that orb, and they are just going to get sent back.
This was a great decision coming out from Coherence. They saw that one of the key players had gone down, so instead of wasting the EMP here, they'll be able to just accrue a little bit more charge on point, 54% and climbing, and be able to use this EMP in the next fight, which is going to put the side of Shoes Money Crew in a bad situation. They make wholesale swaps here, moving on to the free comp. They want to get to the back line and sustain themselves all the way there. Obling drops down the EMP, though, self-destruct in.
Only finds one, however, but it is Colsey on that Reinhardt. A very crucial pick of Avid C. Wars in the sidelines trying to harry the back, but the tanks are just staying healthy enough to keep themselves going. They're pushing forwards. Winston jumps in. They're trying to take down Zarya, and the Coalescence will do it. There's the Diva following it up, and they're pushed back.
So Coalescence and EMP invested. It's not huge, but Zeal does find his way to a little bit closer to that rally, but he's immediately staggered here, which means they're going to have to get to the back to the point using some of their resources, which definitely inside of Coherence could take advantage of. They do remove Kara from the fight. Yeah, sound barrier's down, 96% in climbing. That sound barrier could have been huge in this fight, and they needed it.
He just about gets a toe onto the point, and they're going to start to Transdong. There's the Coalescence for Shoe Money Crew. They're trying to pressure it forward.
Just too late!
With the sound barrier, just a little bit too late. The DMEC goes through. There's the Earth Shatter. Manages to find 2 players. They flip the point over to Shoe Money Crew, and they're racking up the kills as well. A last-ditch attempt comes up big.
Coherence desperately trying to finish out this map as quickly as possible and invest both Primal Rage and Sound Barrier here. 50% might seem low at the moment, but the side of Shoes Money Crew, they're building up ultimates here. This EMP has to be massive, and they have to shut down the backline as quick as possible. If Tri-Spear gets out of the way using Fade, he's going to be incredibly strong, able to throw his bounty grenade orbs in.
There goes the rally for Zeal.
My God.
Just going to get the armor going on. Self-destruct sequence is not going to find anything. The Reinhardt kill stands strong. With Worst going down early in the fight, they can just rally straight on forwards. They're pushing it out. Obling caught under the cosh, and he will go down to the hammer.
So now Shoes Money Crew, with this guaranteed sustain on point, they're able to stick the foot in and hold strong for the time being. Worst going down there was pretty bad for them. Otto makes a last-minute switch onto the Pharaoh to get a little bit additional damage onto this front line with the help of Carrot in the skies. They want to build out the barrage as quickly as possible. So far, the Diva Matrix is stopping any ultimate accrued so far.
The The Graviton Surge available for Mouse on that Zarya. They're holding on to the point. Obling drops the EMP, managed to find pretty much everyone there. They have nothing to defend themselves, and the D.Va Matrix goes down. No self-destruct sequence is used, but the Graviton Surge is still there. They can still drop it down, but the Coalescence is good, and they don't even step forwards. They don't go for the point, despite all the kill feed going their way. The first map will go the way of Shoe Money Crew.
Yeah, just not able to dip the toe into the pool that was the point. And that's it. Shoes Money Crew take it with an adaptive reading of Coherence so far, moving on in different comps. And I feel like Otter's pick on the Pharah just came a little bit too late to be of any effect here. Now, we can really talk about the Sombra so far. I mean, the side of Coherence, they're getting a lot of extra intel using it because it is free intel. Until you decloak the Sombra, go for that spy check, she can just be in your background watching exactly what you're doing. But it will be the side of Shoes Money Crew running again forward with this free comp. So they've just got a huge amount of healing on the point, and I don't think that the side of Coherence have the burst available to deal with it. Otter's going to be looking for this massive barrage quickly in the fight. It will be up to the side of Shoes Money Crew to avoid that for the time being.
Solo tank a little bit tricky to deal with, but you can see the flanks coming through, the hacks coming out as well, but the Zarya bubble just keeping D.Va nice and healthy, nice and safe. Reinhardt gets so much healing coming through from that triple support. Means he is going to stay alive despite having that barrier down. The Discord all popped on top, but they're just not finding the picks for Coherence. They're falling it on back. Otter has that rocket barrage already very early on as Shoes Money Crew are able to find it. And they managed to take the point, but they're being sent away. That barrage is very early, but it hasn't been used yet, and it's going to get cancelled out. Barbecue takes care of that one, and they see themselves strong onto the point. A very nice first take.
Lovely use of the map here from the side of Shoes Money Crew. You saw them cycling around these small corners, trying to remove the Orb of Discord from them as soon as possible, because that would have been put a massive dint in this large tank line at the moment. So that's great play from them. The big thing here is, can the team of Coherence get this large barrage out, take down two of the critical members, possibly over the supports here, removing the Brigida, but so far...
Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
He managed to get the D-Mech and a kill onto the Moira as well. They're going to actually capitalize on this. They found the opening. They're charging straight onto the point. And with the kill feed going their way, it looks like it's pretty much done and dusted off a rocket barrage that didn't look so good, but it found everything it needed to.
Yeah, and worse in the background currently is pressuring Colsty, moving them off the point, so you can't get any extra ultimate charge. He's 64%, might be able to get this the next fight, but Obling wants to shut him down early. So the guys we need to really be looking out for is Zeal and Colsty. Izzy goes extremely low, doesn't take them down. They will also have the self-destruct sequence. This is going to be a large fight here, and it'll be down to Obling to remove the big members with that EMP.
Zeal looking to pop that rally just as soon as they go in. They're just straight onto the point. Lucio speeding them all up. They take the position. There's the EMP, however, grabs 5 members up, but he's gone down to boot. They are falling away. They're using hard cover, but Tracer very good at working around that. They get the res onto the Sombra as well, meaning they have the advantage so far into the fight. They trade it back. There's the pulse bomb coming out. Not going to find the D-Mech, however, the Coalescence to keep them nice and healthy. They're staying on the point. They have managed to cap it all the way up to 40%, but it seems like they're getting sent away. Otter almost up to another barrage, but with the rest of his team going down, the whip shot will see him down with the rest of his team.
And this is the problem with playing one solo main tank. We saw Progi on the other side of the map trying to pressure the Brigida into a bad position, remove the rally from the fight so they had less sustain on point on Shoes Money Crew. And then he hoped that his DPS would be able to finish it out. But these guys are all quite fragile. You've got Tracy, you've got a Pharah, you've got a Sombra. They don't have much to deal with once they're in the fight. And Kanga, he didn't invest the Transcendence, so probably wants to go off the flip off this. But so far, Matos is ready and waiting with that Graviton. Unfortunately, Opening goes down to a spy check, and now Kanga has been pressured heavily.
Oh, Zeal actually got picked off there by Otter, but as you said, Kanga getting res up in the sidelines after that D.Va pressure means that we are sort of back to even footing. They're trying to zoom on up. D.Va trying to zone out the Pharah in the skies. Has got that Rocket Barrage, but there goes the Earth Chatter and the Graviton Surge. Rocket Barrage is chucked in on top of Transcendence. Ults left and right. This is last fight. Remember that they have to go for the push, and they've already managed to find the top end of it. Shoes Money Crew have that sound barrier keeping them nice and healthy, and they find the kills to boot as well. There's only one player left on the point. It's Tracer trying to contest as overtime starts to tick down. There's no way they can get onto the point. It's only Obling needs to move forwards, but he can't quite get in. The translocator not there, and SMC, Shoes Money Crew, take it home.
So decisive here from Shoes Money Crew, deciding exactly what they want to do and when they want to do it. Switching off in this 3-3 comp was exceptionally good for these guys, and Otto just wasn't able to capitalize. The Diva Matrix were there, and there was a really unfortunate last fight in the end. We just see Zeal going absolutely heavy on the team of Coherence. But Otter was in the sky. The Transcendence was invested to hopefully keep him up in that fight, but he was just out of range of the Transcendence there at the last minute, so was able to be taken down to Izzy using that down gun. Obling, 16 enemies EMP, John, but it's just not enough here with a single main tank.
It felt like they weren't capitalizing on those EMPs, and as you say, I think that was from the lack of pressure with those tanks. You had the Tracer and you had the Pharah to try and counter out that 3-3 comp, but the Tracer wasn't finding the picks into the backline. It's very difficult to get around there as a Tracer, and it just didn't quite have the oomph, the pizzazz that we're really looking for.
Yeah, none of that jazz hands are available. I think Progi, definitely, I completely agree there, John. They're not capitalizing on those EMPs. Progi going off the side to try and press the Brigade out of the way may have seemed like a good decision at the time, but there was a better option over by the point. I mean, the cleave damage was needed and required in that final fight there, because he does about 360 DPS per second with that Tesla cannon on the point versus 6 members. But we are going to watch point now. Quickly over to the next map. Coherence want to come back fighting and strong versus Shoes Money Crew. They do not want to go down right here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what is going to happen, how they're going to try and readjust, because didn't quite go their way. They were finding the opens to the fight, but this is something you talked about before, Blank, is that they just weren't quite cohesive enough as a unit to capitalize on those openings. So maybe they just need a little bit more polishing, or maybe it just was the comp that they couldn't quite deal with. Maybe Nepal's not quite their map pick that they went for, but something was in the some spanner was in the works somewhere. I need to try and pull it out.
Well, that was Kara's pick from the side of Coherence, was Nepal. So this is not a great situation right now when the enemy team takes you down on a map that you chose. Now we're heading onto a map that Shoes Money Crew's chosen, and they're on defense at the minute, and they're playing something quite interesting. They're playing Zeal on the Brigitte here. Now, I assume that they've seen the Coherence. They like to play these targets that go in, like the Tracer. So using Zeal to like dissuade them from coming forward to the backline is probably a good idea. However, you're not lacking healing. You have Izzy, you've got Tri-Spear, but a lot's going to be down to Mouse. On the other side, however, we're playing triple DPS, so we've got a heavy amount of pressure. Oh no, we switched back off. Now we're running double sniper. I always get debated right at the end here. So it's still a lot of pressure from the angles and sightlines. It'll be up to these tanks to hold them down, but you can only hold down one at a time. Obling before has shown up on the Widowmaker. I've not seen too much of worse, so it'd be interesting to see how he plays his hands up.
A little bit further back onto the high ground. They don't want to take the first fight. Very close, very sensible. A lot easier to hold down that ramp, give over the high ground, and try and contest it there, especially with the solo DPS. Mouse wants those long sight lines.
Exactly. So they're just going to push down underneath, and it looks like the moment Shoes Money Crew are just happy to hold once they come underneath the bridge. A pretty classic strat. They want to hold behind box, and they don't want to give up the high ground positioning that Seal has already found here. Already, Colsty on the top ground, looking for that cleave damage, but Barbecue is there to back him up with the Diva Matrix to make sure he doesn't go low. But now it will be Shoes Money Crew having to rotate through server, and they're in such close spaces at the moment. It will be very, very easy for Coherence to move on out.
There we go, the Winston jumping on in, dropping that bubble right in front.
Oh, there it is.
End of it. Another shot as well. The bow and arrow raining on the arrows and the damage as well. Izzy gets the res and Miles wins the Widow duel. They're trading it back equally as Zeal starts to pressure in from the back. He's managed to take down the Zenyatta, and they're going to see them off the point just for now. They are contesting it. Plenty of tanks, though, starting to come back in. We're still up on this Hanzo. Looking for the picks, but Zeal has that shield up. Winston has that bubble. Miles now rotating in to try and contest. Has to fall back, however, as all the enemy players all start to come back in. We're back to a 6v6, but Miles again winning out this Widow duel. A very strong, stalwart defense from the Coherence, but they're getting contested on both fronts. Both Divas going in. The Primal Rage popped in the backline. Zenyatta getting pummeled away, but it's going to go down. They're trading it back pretty evenly. It looks like Coherence are going to be able to hold.
So far, it is the side from Shoes Money Crew are just able to constantly put the pressure onto the side of Coherence over and over again. Obling on the top side, just looking for those picks the time being, isn't quite winning out versus Mouse, and now he has this infrasight as well as, and with 2 minutes on the clock, they need to really rethink what they're doing. I think what we do need to do is we need to take down Mouse here. The dive is not as coordinated. It could be, and a lot of times, Coherence's tank line is playing on the back foot.
There they go. There's the Valkyrie popped on the defense for Coherence. They're looking for the shots, and Widow trying to spot out worse on that Hanzo. That Dragon Strike going to be so crucial. Kanga, you're going to drop.
This is very interesting here from this team. Mouse does find Obling once again. Otter has to invest the self-destruct for the time being, but Kara also has the Valkyrie. 1 minute 22. This could be the last chance with a lot of ultimates on board. They do make the side of Shoes Money Crew invest a lot of their own resources, but they're very happy to refrag onto them. Still, once again, the team from Shoes Money Crew putting in the work onto this team. Kara now has the Valkyrie, and on the side of Shoes Money Crew, they have nothing remaining. We're only 1 minute on the clock. Things are starting to look quite desperate for Coherence. They do have some ultimates coming up, but with them so close, yet a little bit too far away, the question is what ultimates are invested first? We know the Valkyrie is going to come out, but will it be the Primal Rage invested rather aggressively instead of defensively? Will we see this Dragon Strike?
Just realized I was muted a little bit, but I'm back now. Worse is going to get the headshot to open it up onto Tri-Spear. That forces out the res, but he's not done just yet. With Winston falling, that's a lot of pressure relieved onto that backline that he's going to be trying to hold on to. Mouse gets taken down for the first time in the duel, and that's going to be disastrous. That's the opening that Shoes Money Crew needed. This was their last opportunity, and they're going to seize it with both hands. 20 seconds left on the clock. The Dragon Strike gets eaten, but it shouldn't matter too much. They are going to go for the contest, however. Izzy going to be going for the heal. The self-destruct sequence isn't going to find too much. The Winston bubble keeping everyone nice and protected. They're seeing them back, and with 6 seconds left on the clock, they have done it. They have managed to push them back. Shoes Money Crew have the last a chance now. 0 seconds, overtime ticking away. No self-destruct sequence kills. The Transcendence onto the point. They are trying their utmost, but is it too little too late? Worst goes down, and Colsty as well. The DMET comes through, and Shoes Money Crew fall on before the first point here on Watch Point Gibraltar.
Yeah, Coherence aren't able to make it through. It was Coherence on the attack here. Shoes Money Crew on the defense, making a massive and admirable hold. They dropped everything on the resources, but Shoes are able to come back in with a great respawn. They grouped together, made sure they all died on point, and just 1m77 Shoes hold here on Gibraltar first point. We thought this would be a lot closer, but Coherence, they're just not quite able to get in. We have seen worse things happen, however. Coherence could hold this for the full 4 minutes, but so far, Obling is just out-sniping Mouse a lot of the time, and Worse is having to bring up his game and basically put his team on his back.
Yeah, pretty difficult indeed. They are hovering the Wrecking Ball, the Hammond. I would quite like to see that, but I don't think it's going to stick around. The Widow Jewels, Mouse was doing pretty well, and it's he really was creating that stalwart defense, making sure that the rest of the team just couldn't move forwards. Worse on that, Hanzo was trying to do the work in response, and he did quite well, especially towards the end there. But Obling just kind of wasn't able to move on forwards.
Not at all. So Obling has been thwarted the last herd a lot of times, but I'd say that he's been outsniped by Mouse a lot of the time. But what I will put it down to is that the front line from the side of Shoes Money Crew has just been absolutely phenomenal. So far, Progi and Otter, they've been a little bit separate at times, but really want your diva to be following you as a Winston. Whereas on the side of Shoes Money Crew, their tank line has been very cohesive, very decisive in their attacks, and Obling has been able to follow up on it time and time and again. Colsey's had a lot of experience, been playing in Wind and Rain, and now he's an ex-Singularity Bazooka Puppies player. He knows what he's doing, and Barbecue is following up perfectly.
They're going to roll out, and they are actually going to keep the Hammond on board. They're going to keep pressuring it forwards. Again, they're just playing behind box. Same strat. Obling looking to get those shots. Zeal had that deflect up. So it's going to have too much impact. But again, a relatively slow start. I'm expecting a lot more engages at the end of the ramp.
Definitely. Now, Zeal can follow up quite nicely on any of Miles' body shots, so he's not even forced to go for these large headshots. He can just go for a body shot, and Zeal will go straight on topwards. Colsey can get into position as soon as possible, but I like this positioning that so far Coherence is taking. Rage drop down at a moment's notice and be able to use those mobility tools aggressively rather than defensively.
Otter is slept
Oh,
up, and
no!
that's going to be the biotic grenade. That's a beautiful pick there. And there's Kosti with that pile driver, creating that disruption. Going for the adaptive shield as well, but he's going to be rolling on about. Trying to swing up with that grapple. Can't quite reach that high ground just yet, but they're continuing to push this payload forwards. He's swinging around, he's creating the disruption, obbling all the time. Is just doing so much work suppressing the enemy Widow, and he's got to come out on top. But the Dragon Blade from Mouse, the Nano Boost layered on top, the dash straight through Kara. No res is available, and a beautiful biotic grenade.
Oh my God!
All the opening, he's cracking it open like a tin can, and they are going to be faltering here. A beautiful push. Shoes Money Crew, see it home.
And that's it. Shoes Money Crew all the way through. Coherence fall at the first hurdle, not being able to take Nepal, not being able to take Gibraltar, and you know that came down to a race of time. And Coherence, they gave Shu all the time in the world.
It's a very good opening. Let's take a look. Play the game over in server room. And it's just going to be the Tesla cannon doing a lot of work. He went very low, but unfortunately, Izzy was on the back.
So now that we have finished 2 maps, we are going to throw this one back over to our analysts and our lovely host, Ham Tornado. They're going to break it down for you, see what exactly happened to Coherence.
Thank you, Blank. Yes, we receiveth the torch. Ooh, it's still warm. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Coherence's play. Does the C stand for something else, potentially? Letter number? I don't know. Analyst, Kenobi, Panda, we were predicting, coming into this matchup with the pedigrees that both of these teams are bringing. You said, Kenobi, 5-map set, and I was on board with you, but with a dominant 2-0 performance from Shoes Money Crew, things are turning out, there's a different story being written here. So we'll harken back to Nepal. Things looked pretty competitive, honestly. We saw Shrine, we saw Village, a couple of the new heroes. This is the live patch, I believe. So coming to a lot of these new heroes actually being played on the side of Shoes Money Crew to begin with. And I'll throw this to you first, Kenobi. How did you feel about the integration of Hammond? We saw a little bit of that Hammond Diva.
Yeah, we saw Hammond Diva, and we also saw Doomfist coming out, and it was a good idea at the start. We've been seeing a lot of this main tank style of play coming out from the Wrecking Balls a lot, where you play it with the Diva, and the Diva can D-Matrix you as you go in, get a lot of that shielding, get a lot of the boop abilities, as Panda likes to say. And one of the things that was unfortunate for Shoes Money Crew is they ran it into a Sombra, and Sombra probably is the biggest counter to Hammond and also to Doomfist, as those are two heroes that are very heavily cooldown reliant. So going into that, it was kind of a mess at the start. Sombra was able to get a lot of hacks off, able to stop the Hammond and the Doomfist from doing as much work as they wanted. Because, if you get hacked as a Doomfist, you're pretty much just a potato on the field. You can't really do anything. He's such a heavily cooldown reliant hero. Same with Hammond. You get out of that ball and you're just a big ball of metal that people can shoot out really easily. So it was unfortunate that they ran it into the Sombra. What I like, though, is that they ended up switching their picks, and not just once, but twice. So very proactive switches. They switched to the Reinhardt, they switched to the Winston. When the Winston wasn't working out, they went back to the Reinhardt, and then they were able to get the point. Unfortunately, for the side of Team Coherence, there is a little bit of that letter number that happened at the end there, because they had the advantage at the first point. They had the kills that were coming in. They just didn't get on the point quick enough. So unfortunate there for Team Coherence, and then it ended poorly on that second map of Nepal as well.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. Panda, any thoughts there?
I honestly just really like the big brain play when you have a Hammond dropping and pile driving in, and then he just gets hacked after pulling the adaptive shields, and he thinks that he's safe. But at the end of the day, that's just about almost 1,100 health points of ult charge going heavily in the favor for all of the team of Shoes Money Crew. I mean, it was just the big macro play going along to what I said on the pre-show of just this is going to come down to a micro-base game as well. And that perfectly led into Gibraltar as well. Mouse just literally going off.
Yeah, and speaking of Gibraltar, Team Coherence not really living up to their namesake, unfortunately. I certainly have a lot of thoughts on kind of, in particular, the tank play was really interesting from Coherence. Panda, what did you see? Who would you say made a big impact on that map? A full hold, by the way, not something we see every day. Who would you credit that to?
Well, it was a little bit of desynchronization coming from Progi on Team Coherence, to the point as well for Shoes Money Crew. The way that they were coordinating their dive was just it was like Blank was saying, is that well-oiled machine from all these different parts of a car really coming together. I mean, from Mao's sniping off of everybody, it was heavily suppressing both snipers. That way Zeal could just walk up as Brigitte and pressure in another sniper, all while they had a Winston diving into their face with barbecue. But Progi was going even further without the support of his diva and his supports as well, to try to displace either Mal's or Zeal or even Tri-Spear, their support of Shoes Money Crew, and to no avail. So these just need to be a little bit more careful. As far as an impact is concerned, it's all of Shoes Money Crew. They're all playing very, very well.
All right, so Panda says, Shoes Money Crew, the entire team made a giant impact. Kenobi, 20 seconds. Anything to add?
Yeah, I really liked the tank play I saw coming out from Colsty. Just his Winston play, going in, making sure he understands his cooldowns and his ability to go as deep as he can. You know, he has that ability to make sure that he doesn't die, because if you're able to get in as the Winston, use almost like get down to 50% health, and then your Mercy and your healers get on you, and then you can jump out. I think that's very good coordinated dive play, like Panda said, coming out from them. Really liked what I saw, and I think it's not looking too great for Team Coherence, but they definitely have shown bright spots that they can bring it back.
All right, really going to be hoping for some more of those bright spots to shine through for Team Coherence. They may well go down in a 3-0. Nobody wants that. But to bring you all of the rest of these exciting games, once again, throwing to our casters, Blank and John Allen. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Ham. It's pretty exciting so far. We're going to be moving over onto Temple of Anubis next for Assault style map. That 3-3 comp that we saw in Nepal could come into fruition here. I'm pretty excited to see how it's going to go. Blank, how are you feeling about this one?
I'm feeling pretty good. Coherence, they're on the back foot though at the moment. One thing that I do like that Coherence do really well is they are able to corral teams into certain spots. And we saw glimmers of this on Nepal. A lot of times when we did see Obling's EMPs go off, they were 5-6 man, so they're able to corral teams into the right places. And with the choke points on Temple Anubis on the top left side, bottom right side, I believe that maybe Coherence have a good chance there. Obling is just hovering on the Doomfist for the time being, but we're going to take a quick look at the defensive comp from the side of Shoes Money Crew.
Well, let's have a see how they're going to be able to roll it on out as they start to coalesce towards their final compositions. See, at the moment we've got a few oddballs in the mix. I'm liking the Sombra Hovers though.
Sombra Hovers is nice. And like I was saying on the other map, you just get free intel out of this. Before, you had to use things like Brigitte shield pops up, using that third person to your advantage, or using even emotes. Now you can just pop a Sombra in the back of the mix and just be resident 7th player on the enemy team, just watching exactly what they're doing at all times. But what we do like to see here is Tri-Spear on the Ana. Now, Colsty is a great main tank so far. We've seen him play it like the Desk was saying. He gets out a lot of times where he has no right to, but he does anyway, because he uses his leap in such a way that he always has it available at the right times. He does set up on high ground a lot of time, drops down, then unleashes the Tesla cannon and has leap available, and also plays around his shield extremely well. With Tri-Spear also pocketing him, which we know he's a great Ana. We've seen him in Open Division Season 2, with him pocketing him and also getting the 9 boost onto him. I believe that these fragile targets on the side of Coherence, like Tracer, like Genji, like Sombra, might be having a little bit of a tougher time. Already, Zeal is putting in the work at the front lines, already up to 25% on that Dragon Blade, and he just wants to farm that as quickly as possible, possibly get that same combo we saw on Gibraltar.
A couple of swaps going in, and actually Kanga back over onto that Zenyatta. So, a nice little bit of healing we're going to see coming out from them. But it is a little bit limited with that Lucio as well, so they're going to have to make sure that that's placed beautifully. Colsty from that high ground like you were talking about, Blank, he's going to drop down. Will have that leap available. There's the dash shield finds two with the single shadow Swift Strike, and that's going to be pretty much the end of the push, although they do find 2 kills.
Yeah, Zeal is now out of the fight, so this is not too bad of a thing because he's already generated up to his Dragon Blade, because he's been playing it so far very well, trying to get those quick shurikens in. And at 3 minutes, they might be able to stop them again here with the Dragon Blade and pop them down to 2 minutes, in which again we're seeing another situation like we saw in Gibraltar, where Coherence get down to 2 minutes and they run out of options.
Yeah, there's the Swift Strike there. As the Dragon Blade started to come through, straight on through, and he just resets the Swift. On to Kara. They've already managed to find the one kill, but that's the only one they're going to find. Mao's going down on the defense, so no hack coming out for him. And there's Izzy falling down as well. This is the opening that they were looking for. Team Coherence managing to start to put the pressure on. Colsty going down, and they're going to stand on the point. Only Barbecue and Zeal on that back line still alive. Zeal managed to heal himself up with that mega health back up north, but there is the D-Mech, and that should be it. The hack over onto Zeal. No deflect. Nothing left for you. Mouse has to retreat.
Now, this is exactly what I was talking about. Able to corral enemy team, Shoes Money Crew, into this top side with the Mega Pack, which was hacked, by the way, by Obling. So they had the advantage already. Now, Mousy as the EMP able to stop this fight, but with 6 minutes, things are looking good for the side of Coherence. They have an enemy EMP ready to go. So the question is, which EMP goes first? Whose phones get turned off?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. They are pressuring forwards. Obling doesn't have it quite just yet. Mao's looking for that pressure. They're moving forwards. You can see Obling looking for that back line. He's moving in forwards. Otter gets hacked up and demexed as well by Izzy. But he's hacked in turn. There's the Tracer Pulse Bomb. We'll find Mao's not quite able to get around the corner.
Large.
A nice little pick, because that's no EMP. And now they can start to push forwards, but it's going to be Shoes Money Crew who just channel straight down the bridge, and they're seeing them back to spawn. Colsty doing the work.
They are taking as much ultimate charge as they can absolutely get. Colsty only just used Primal Rage, 65% already. You can tell why he is on fire. And Trispare, he used Nano Boost in that last fight. Mouse has another EMP available, although he did go early. Died early. We can't see this as a reoccurring trend because this is something that Coherence can definitely take advantage of. Brogy now also has the Primal Rage. You see him use aggressively. He might use it aggressively again. And they have the sound barrier to engage with.
Obling looking to go in towards that back line, but so is Mouse. Who's going to get the hack off first? They're looking to go for the decloak. No picks just yet. They're just having a little bit of an argy-bargy towards that left side of the point. Jumping on up and pushing it forwards. In goes the self-destruct sequence. First hold of the fight. Won't find anything. And the pressure forwards from Barbecue is there. Hasn't got those thrusters just yet, but will be able to see himself safe. No EMPs going out, but there's the second self-destruct sequence right on top of the wall. We'll find Progi. That's a really big pick. No Primal Rage for the Winston. No pressure towards there. They can try and find that hack, but again, it's going to be Shoes Money Crew running it forwards.
Shoes Money Crew's got absolutely so much sustain so far. And you saw Barbecue being in a place which he had no right to be in whatsoever, tickling the enemy team over and over. And all they can do is just force to watch him as he gets multiple darts thrown into the mech, which somehow heal the mech. I don't know how that works, but don't ask me that. And then he gets the amp it up from Izzy, as well as armor packs from Zeal. They can't do anything about it. And at the moment, Barbecue is just being this iron wall on the front lines. I think the moment a switch off onto a more bursty target, bursty hero like a Pharah would do wonders for the side of Coherence. However, they have 5 ultimates coming up. A big pulse bomb is required here to take out the backline, but Zeal, he can respond in turn with a rally, giving everyone a lot of armor.
Oh, Colsty used the leap to get back up to the high ground, but there were 2 tanks to deal with. Has to use the Primal Rage to get out, but luckily enough, there's a biotic grenade over onto Otter, and they're going to be able to see themselves nice and safe. Kara at the back there, just seeing them all away, making sure they're safe again. There's so many ults stacking up, and they just aren't using them.
Yeah, I mean, Coherence, they just haven't had chances so far. And in those small moments, the side of Shoes Money Crew, they've built up a large bank of ultimates of their own. 3 minutes remaining and 3 minutes already down. And we're seeing this Nano Boost engaged.
Shoes Money Crew doing so much work. The Nano Boost going straight forwards. Colsty has no rest for the wicked. He is going to be putting the hurt down onto Team Coherence as they get seen back to spawn yet again. This is a brutal Winston performance if I've ever seen one.
Shoes Money Crew, they are just punishing the trepidation from Kara's team Coherence. They're not able to get in, and Worse has been barely able to get to the backline so far. Obling has to open it up with this EMP if they want any time remaining in the bank before going into OT.
I mean, they almost have the 6-pack blank. They're almost ready to go for the full fight, and they're going to try and take it now. Progi onto that backline, trying to zone them out. There's Obling with the EMP. We'll find 2, making sure that they can't do it, but it's found in response as well. The Diva Matrix for Otter is taken down, and that's going to be a Winston Tesla cannon taking it out. There's the sound barrier. It's cancelled away for Kara, which means that Team Coherence cannot stand up on the point. They chucked everything they had into that fight, and still, they found nothing.
What a response from Izzy and Zeal. Zeal's on the high ground here. Izzy sees the Tracer, wants to get into backline after the EMP goes down. He stays out of sight, drops down the sound barrier, extra 750 since the last patch as well. So everyone's extremely healthy. Zeal drops, gets the shield bash onto Verse here on the Tracer, forcing out the recall, and that's pretty much the fight over as Worst can no longer play aggressively. Colsey going for that large cleave inside to get the Primal Rage, and now pushing everyone into the self-destruct.
Only the Brigitte to go down to it, though. They still have to keep the forward pressure. There's a Doomfist on the cards, and see that swap. The Zeal is going to be able to pick it up. Goes down, but the rest of his team is still there. They're still doing work with Ana falling. Again, it's a push rebuff.
This is looking terrible for Coherence so far, and like you said, he invested everything. And you know what's going to happen again, John? We get that nano boost onto Colstein. He's then very happy to jump into the front lines, push down the Tesla cannon, and just destroy people. Zeal in the backline at the moment managed to just get away just in time. He is on the Doomfist once again. This is just going to be removing large targets like Kanga, who they need for that large bite grenade. Mao's just tickling in the background for the time being.
Nice hurt, nice hack onto the Diva and the EMP as well. And Colsey is still there. They just find everything. These fights are so coordinated. There's the rocket punch as well, and they're just pinned into a room. There's only one mega health pack alive. And with 5 of you, oh my goodness, the hard shot is still going off. There he goes onto the floor. He got sent straight to the sky, and he just couldn't get it.
Hammer time. Not quite yet, though. But Coherence, they've built up a nice bank already. Again, Zeal has this meter strike. This is going to be huge. 29 seconds on the clock. We come into final fight territory. Coherence have to do something. They have to do it now. Otherwise, they will not take point B. And it's looking like Shoes Money Crew may be able to rush on through on this next point. Oh. There's the nano boost.
Onto the Doomfist as well. He's got a meteor strike. He's going to go up into the sky. Who's he going to drop it down on? There's the Graviton Surge popped onto the bridge of the self-destruct sequence, but no one's caught up in it. Zeal is pressuring towards the back. They're trying to send them towards the spawn. They're looking to win out the fight here and now and take the series. Barbecue and Colsey find the opening hooks. There's the sound barrier. They're moving forwards to sleep as well. And Ana goes down to Progi. He's going to be pressuring it forwards. The Reinhardt is swinging. And finally, Team Coherence have 3 players on the point. They have a body, but Zeal's back into the fray. They have Colsey as well. And with Oblin going down, they can't keep this pressure for much longer. Lucio trying his best, as is the Tracer. There's the hack. And they are going to be seen away. A beautiful hold for Shoes Money Crew. And they're looking to hold it. 1 point so far for Team Coherence. And it's Shoes Money Crew's turn.
And not a single tick on point B here. They are removed from the fight. This was played so well. And Izzy could have gone down there, but he did the brave thing to do as a Lucio. You see the Reinhardt from Coherence charging towards him. He just boosts him up into the air. And he's done this twice now. We saw that awful earth shadow that came down from the clouds above. God, Coherence, they've got a tough time ahead of them. That they need to hold here and then hold on point B, potentially even for a draw, which will put them into a tiebreaker map on Oasis.
See how they're going to be looking, but right now, Shoes Money Crew seem to have Team Coherence's number. It's just not looking so good for them. Blank, what do you think that is the opening that Shoes Money, or well, that Team Coherence need to find on the offensive Shoes Money Crew this time around? Because at the moment, it just doesn't seem like they're able to keep up.
Well, the main thing that I'm seeing so far is that Coherence just can't get to the backline whatsoever. Izzy, as a singular player, it's so hard to track down, and Tri-Spear is basically supported by him at all times. He's able to use that speed boost to get Tri-Spear out of the way, because Ana doesn't really have an effective basically escape tool. She has a battle grenade to dissuade people from coming towards her, and so far Tri-Spear has been extremely good with the sleep dart, but still nothing like a leap, no ability tool. So Izzy's always there, ready to go, get him out of harm's way. And I think what Coherence need is a much more effective and strong dive.
Yeah, the Symmetra. I thought that was just going to be to boost Progi up to the high ground, but they're not going for the treehouse instead.
We got some smelly cheese on our hand.
This is a little bit of a fun one here. Some camembert being developed by Team Coherence.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see how they go about it. But already Oblin takes down Mouse. Izzy's brought back in again to the fight. You're not getting away from this one, son. And everyone's on the top side. A lovely perch up. This is going to be the side of Shoes Coherence. Shoes Money Crew, they want to get in there as quick as possible, but Zeal tries to get up there, but there's already turrets waiting for him, and they can quickly rotate between this position off and on using the teleporter.
It's a very strong pickup, and they're making the Symmetra work. It's a nice usage. How long is it going to last, however, as the pile driver goes in onto that high ground positioning? 4 to 5 popped out for Progi to try and dissuade them from keeping on that contest, but Zeal is already looking for that backline. They're moving towards the point as well, and with Obling isolated now, they can try and start to pressure it out. Kara falls down early, which means that it's disastrous. There's no healing coming out, but it doesn't matter because there's a Bastion. He can heal himself. He can get the kills as well. Obling needs to land the headshots. Already half of the point claimed, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter too much because worse is left untouched.
Izzy was desperately trying to get onto the point, take the attention away from the team. They decided they'd just go ahead for it, try and win the footsie battle, but so far, Shoes Money Crew, they have the mechanics available and they have the skill that they need to win out these fights.
Oh, brutal pile driver.
Crushed.
Down onto Obling, crushed out of the point. That's going to be the first cap going to Shoes Money Crew. They're going to be looking to roll it forwards with 6.5 minutes. They only need that first tick, Blank.
The Spider is just a bug splat remaining on point A now. They've got to come out with something special, but they don't have many ultimates to work with. Tri-Spear has the nano boost. We're going to see this classic thing that Shoes Money Crew have been going for all the time. There it is.
No.
They've dashed through to get the Dragon Blade, and here it goes.
Oh, he's looking for the Ana, but they're safe and sound inside. Still a matter, though. The range is there. They get 2 kills. It's traded back onto 1, but its damage is done. Otter looking to get pressured out on the point. Barbecue getting the better of that mirror matchup, and they're keeping the pressure towards Spawn. Self-destruct sequence zoning people away. Team Coherence really looking on the ropes right now. Mouse opening up the kills again. There's the EMP, and it's going to be beautiful. Colsty making it work for his team, and they are keeping this pressure forwards. 2 players still left alive. The Doomfist trying to get those rocket punches. The Tracer trying to get those dashes around. The Blink's not quite finding the presence that they need, but it seems like they've given themselves enough time. Otter and the supports both finding their way back onto the point. Self-destruct sequence, sound barrier to protect, and they are all going to be able to fade away. Wrecking Ball looking for that backline. 3-man knockup with a pile driver, and this stagger is going on for so long, Blank.
So far, we've got a lot of ultimates on the side. Oh, here it is. There's the pulse bomb we wanted to see.
There's
a lot of
Boostio.
resources invested from the side of Shoes Money Crew, and not a single. Oh, actually, it looks like not a single tick accrued, but it's just over the 33% mark. Overwatch, what's going on there?
Yeah, not too sure what's going on there. They did actually drop the nano boost onto Kara on the Lucio.
Boostio in action.
Yeah, a bit of a boostio right at the end of that fight, but we have that minefield and the nano boost for Tri-Spear as well.
I mean, we've got this going again, but we don't have the same Genji in place. It will only be the Pulse Bomb available from Zeal. The fact that he was able to get that in that last fight was extremely strong. So far, Coherence are playing very close together, so this minefield might be huge.
A brilliant opening onto the Doomfist. They still have that minefield. It's going to be dropped down onto the opening on the bridge, but all of those mines almost immediately destroyed. Very unimpactful, but it's not going to stop Obling running into one. And the rest of them are just going to charge it on through. Ana, Doomfist, Lucio, the 3 players left alive, and the Biotic Grenade going to stop Doomfist from keeping any of that health. And there we go. Shoes Money Crew ran it on through. They take that second point, and with it, the series.
Shoes Money Crew, money in the bank as they take this one away from Coherence. We thought this one would be a lot closer, but Shoes Money Crew, they're showing how strong they can be. And 100% Colsty takes this. He is the MVP of this match. He's played so extremely well so far. Look at this cleave. Look at the positioning. There's no way this man can be stopped.
With the nano boost as well, there's just so much damage pouring out. It's real. It's here. It's Shoes Money Crew. They are putting the work in. They are doing so much. And they're making a splash here, Blank.
Definitely. It's a splash of cash. And if they were jumping in the pool, that's exactly what it would be filled off. We're going to drop this one back to the Analysts. And again, Ham Tornado, take it away. I want to see exactly what happened.
Me too, Blank. I mean, you guys throwing out those puns. Straight cash, homie. Indeed, they've cashed that check. The series is done. Dominant fashion 3-0. And Panda Kenobi, what happened there, right? We started off with, what could be considered a pretty competitive matchup in Nepal, but it seemed like Team Coherence just kind of losing their mojo a little bit by the time we moved into Assault. But speaking specifically about, the team compositions, we've now seen, Ana kind of stay throughout many of these fights. Tri-Spear wielding her potentially a little bit more effectively than Kanga Panda. Break down that Ana play for us.
Well, Ana herself, I mean, definitely works better in a certain situation where you can get all those burst heals off, not against a Reinhardt, not against an Orisa, but when the enemy tank is actually playing a Winston and the bubble isn't fully in effect, it comes down to a lot of different aspects as well. This is the well-oiled machine that I'm talking about as well. The team of Shoes Money Crew breaking all of the bubbles, all the shielding continuously as well, so Anna can pop off is definitely one of the things that you need to be cognizant of, and Team Coherence understanding that as well, playing very coherently in that fashion, might I add. Moira in Temple of Anubis is a little bit of an awkward choice as well. When you throw that biotic orb, doesn't necessarily get all the bumps that you want, so the healing might not come through. So Anna is actually one of the better picks, just because that you can actually get those long range hit scan heals off. Not to mention biotic grenade. The boost to healing is very, very nice.
And the other thing, with Anna is one of those characters or heroes rather, that you need to kind of build a composition around. You need to help her out as much as you can, right? And for Team Coherence, as you said, they were running Anna a little bit, and I wasn't sure how I felt about them running Anna with their goats esque type of composition that they're running, because they're running basically goats with Anna. And goats with Anna is a very difficult, especially against dive, because Anna, really the only CC that you have to protect yourself is that sleep dart. And also, if you're Moira works with goats so well because you can just spray your healing spray, get all that healing. Anna, it just takes a little bit longer to get all of that, pump out all that healing. Even if you do have biotic grenade, that cooldown only happens once every couple of seconds. For Moira, it's just a lot easier to throw orb and just heal spray, so you have a lot of that rotation of healing. I would have liked to have seen maybe them forego completely nano boost and say, okay, well, nano boost isn't going to give us that much right here. Let's just go Moira and just try and run onto the point.
Yeah, it did seem that there was quite a bit of hesitation from Team Coherence. Not quite sure what kind of supports they would be running, like our analyst pointed out, and Shoes Money Crew were just able to use all of those moments of hesitation to get the drop on them. But that's a little bit about that first round. Second round, we have to talk about the Sim Bastion. Kenobi and I incidentally actually cast Discord Throwdown, and we saw this composition used effectively to hold on Hanamura, but this time around didn't quite happen there. Kenobi, could you kind of run us through what the goals they're trying to achieve with that Bastion Sim comp were?
So the new Symmetra with new teleporter, you have one starting point for the teleporter, and then you have a second off point where you can put on high ground, you can put anywhere in front of you. And so their goal was to put the Orisa, put the shielding there, and have Bastion teleport from the low ground to the high ground, have all that shielding, and you can teleport still in turret mode, which is pretty insane that you can still stay in turret mode and still teleport. So they were going to play up on that high ground, try to get a couple of picks, put some pressure on Team Coherence on Shoes Money Crew as they came out of spawn, and then they were going to have Obling, who was going to be able to get a couple of picks. It didn't end up working out because I believe Carr on the Mercy died early in that fight, and you really need that Mercy to help out your Bastion, keep him alive through all of that healing, because they just, Shoes Money Crew just at the end jumped on to that Bastion and just got him out of the fight early, and then Kara was gone as well. So it could have worked. I think it does have potential, this Symmetra Bastion comp, with the mobility that you have with Sentry mode. I think it can definitely work, but just needs a little bit of tinkering still, I think.
A little bit of tinkering. Would that be your diagnosis as well, Panda?
I mean, a little bit of tinkering for sure, but speaking of tinkering, the one best part about Sombra and those turrets as well, I know that a lot of our EU friendlies as well, I'll go ahead and just call you out immediately, Des. I know how much you hate Sombra. I get it. But the immediate counter as well is actually Symmetra. Those turrets actually pick her up out of stealth, and when you put them in certain corners of the map, it'll actually pull her out of stealth. You can't see Sombra on the point, and she doesn't start accruing the percentage as well. But those turrets pick her up very wonderfully, as well as a Bastion spraying down in the multiple corners. Really, it just minimalizes how many areas Sombra can just run through, right? So the second that you nullify all of those little areas and you force her into one running space is where Sombra becomes suppressed. And I think this composition definitely shows a strong case as well. But once you let that hack come through on that Bastion, he can't sit there in turret form. It's like, what are we doing here, really? I mean, he's just walking around at this point, just making beep boop noises, and that's not really what you want your Bastion to do.
Yeah, Bastion, you're way too cute. Your beeps don't scare anybody. So potentially, I mean, we may be seeing some more Bastion play, some more Symmetra play, either to counter a Sombra against dive. Who knows? But start thinking about those team comp names right now, folks. Symmetra Bastion, I'm going to call it the Prestige. A magic trick. Suddenly, Bastion salad, right? So think about those folks, because that will do it for today's first EU broadcast of Open Division. Of course, this has been brought to you by Broadcast.gg. We are a community of amateur esports broadcasters. If any of you guys are interested in learning about hosting, casting, production, analysis, anything like that, feel free to join our Discord. Give us a follow on Twitter at Broadcast.gg. But that will do it for us for now. Be sure to stay tuned, because we have another hot matchup coming up. I believe it is the Dark Side against No Leaks Allowed. So be sure to show up there. I have been Ham Tornado on the desk, flanked by my lovely analyst sons, Kenobi and Panda, and of course, bringing you the lovely cast, our British boys, Blank and John Allen. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in just a little bit more for our second EU Open Division map.
You never stop calling me gray. crazy, but you the one that's fucking crazy. And it's time for me to run. Yeah, it's time for me to go. I will stick around for you.
I live 17 floors up, and when it rains I can feel those drops in my window pane. Lets me know that I'm still here. But when the sun comes out I will go outside. When it breaks through clouds I will give a smile. Lets me know that I'm still here. Sometimes I want to run away to find good times again, to find all my old friends. Times I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again. And good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again. And away to find good times again, to find all my old friends. Run away to the nearest place where I'll find all my old friends. Times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again. And good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again. And find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again. And good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again. And
wanna take you sky. Take you sky. With you, you have me with you, me stuck in the with you, you have me with you, me.
Got your hands on me. Every time we touch, there's a sense of urgency. Yeah, you wind me up. Oh, baby, I know I'm falling deep. I never get enough cause we fit so perfectly. I'm not afraid of love. Every night I need you more. Days go longer now without you than before. Just thinking about you gets me high. Cause you know how to leave this soul electrified. When you take me down, when you take me, when you take me down. You're never off my mind. I'm living in the dark till you come and give me light. You know you break the storms. Oh, I'm feeling undefined. I've never been strong, so I fall for the bad guys. I'm not going back anymore. Oh, every night I need you more. Days go longer now without you than before. Just thinking about you gets me high.
time thinking of me. How come you're not there when you got me? I know that you're busy, so make the time. If you want this with me, do me right. I could be somewhere else, but I'd rather be with you. And that's what I call time well spent. So what do you call it when you're with me? Is it time well spent? So what do you call it when you're with me? Is it time well spent? You took all this time thinking you'd be playing on my mind like you should be. You know when you miss me, I'm hard to find. So when you are with me, love me blind. I could be somewhere else, but I'd rather be with you. And that's what I call time well spent. So what do you call it when you're with me? Is it time well spent? So what do you call it when you're with me? Is it time well So what do you call it when you're with me? Oh, is it time well spent? So what do you call it when you're with me? Is it time well spent?
Never give it up. What goes around comes around. What goes around comes. What goes around comes around. What goes around comes. What goes around comes around. What goes around comes. What goes around comes around. What goes around comes. What goes around comes around.
I just can't wait until the summer. I just can't wait until the summer. When my spirit's free, no one's stopping me now. I just can't wait until the summer. When I meet with you again, yeah. I just can't wait until the summer. When my spirit's free, no one's stopping me now. I just can't wait until the summer. When I meet with you again, yeah. I just can't wait, wait. I just can't wait, wait. I just can't wait, I just can't wait until the summer. I just can't wait until the can't wait until another. When I got nothing on my mind, I just can't wait to rediscover. When I meet with you again, oh, I just can't wait until the summer. When my spirit's free, no one's stopping me now. I just can't wait until the summer. When I meet with you again, yeah. I just can't wait until the summer. When my spirit's free, no one's stopping me now. I just can't wait until the summer. When I meet with you again, yeah. I just can't wait. I just can't wait, wait. I just can't wait, I just can't wait until the summer. I just can't wait until the
theory. Whoever made that noise made it intentionally. So we would hear it and find him. theory. Whoever made that noise made it intentionally. So we would hear it and find him. Hear it and find him.
Feeling like there's no other way. Talk about a long night trip. No. Don't ever wait. You kept traces of my thoughts. Your frames are divided in my thoughts. Your love, dance so I can feel your lips. No. Don't ever look away. You fill the spaces in my heart. Your friends are nowhere to be found. We're tripping all around and girl, we don't know nobody. There's people all around, but girl, it's a private party. We don't know nobody. There's people all around, but love, it's a private party. And I'm tripping, you're tripping, trip. Talk about a long night trip. No. Don't ever wait. You kept traces of my thoughts. Your frames are divided in my thoughts. We're tripping all around and girl, we don't know nobody. There's people all around, but girl, it's a private party. We don't know nobody. There's people all around, but love, it's a private party. And I'm tripping, you're tripping. Dancing in slow motion. Feeling all my emotion. Dancing in slow motion. Feeling all my emotion. Dancing in slow motion. Feeling all my emotion. Baby, now I'm saying so long. You've been catching feels, I've been catching flights. Maybe we can chill when I get the time. Told you I'ma call, I didn't mean to lie. The writing on the wall, if we read between the lines, I'm in the fast lane. In my rearview mirror, I see your whole life. I've been in the fast lane. Now I'm blinded by the glow of the lights. Baby, now I'm saying so long. So long. Got you tonight by sunlight, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. The light on the wall, so long, so long. The light on the wall, so long, so long. I'm saying so long.
The voicemail box belonging to 314276944 is currently full.
Gave me a second chance. Baby, hear me out. I'll call you up for friends. When I'm I'm touching down. Tell you what I saw when I get the time. The writing on the wall. If we read between the lines, I'm in the fast lane. In my rearview mirror, I see your whole life. I've been in the fast lane. Now I'm blinded by the glow of the lights. Baby, now I'm saying so long. So long. Got you night by sunlight, I'm gone. I'm gone. Riding on the wall like, so long, so long. Riding on the wall like, so long, so long. Saying so long, so long, so long, so long. Now baby, I'm gone, I'm saying so long.
Yeah, break ground is the ghost out. When I step up in your town, call me Jack Flowers. Bring the sound, homie, make it loud. Pump it up like Joey Bud if you ain't a coward. Take it to the head, ayy. One time to the base, give you head ache. Crack shells to the head break. When it's crunch time, I'ma clutch mine, homie. I've been hungry like a wolf. Black chain bang against my chest like whoa. $1 million mind from the west side, yo. The full moon, yeah, we gon' get wild, yo. Stressed out, you don't want get too close. Stand down before we put you and all of your men down. Fire squad camo, kicking through the door. Keep firing till the clippers on the floor. Reload. Chain bang against my chest like whoa. $1 million mind from the west side, yo. The full moon, yeah, we gon' get wild, yo. Stressed out, you don't want get too close. Stand down before we put you and all of your men down. Fire squad camo, kicking through the door. Keep firing till the clippers on the floor. Reload.
Check this, got one more for the set list. Walk in the spot and I drop one track, know who the best is. Walk in the rave like check this, got one more for the set list.
Tell me what's going down. I can't stand it when you're so shut down.
But now I'm on board, now I'm on board, now I'm on board, now I'm on board.
Tell me what's going down. I can't stand it when you're so shut down.
But now I'm on board, now I'm on board, now I'm on board, now I'm on board.
Tell me what's
Walk in the rave like check this, got one more for the set list. Walk in the spot and I drop one track, know who the best is.
Tell me what's
Check this, got one more for the set list. Walk in the spot and I drop one track, know who the best, know who the best is. Walk in the rave like check this, got one more for the set list. But now I'm gone. But now I'm gone. But now I'm gone.
Tell me what's going down.
Get low.
Hello, welcome back to the Broadcast.gg production of the Open Division, the Overwatch Open Division Season 3. My name is John Allen, and I am joined by Panda and Blank. We've got some great games coming up for you. We've had some great games already today, so I'm pretty excited to get it underway. To start us off, I mean, we've seen some pretty interesting changes to the players, the heroes that these teams are picking, what they're going to go for. With the shift of the meta, what are you going to be looking for in the future, Panda?
In the future, we're going to see a lot of Sombra. I mean, Sombra seems to be one of the stronger picks coming out here these days. Infinite Stealth, that projectile that is now the Translocator as well. It can be pretty strong. Ana has been replacing Mercy, and that's as your local support main. Just tickles me pink, man.
I love it. What about, we saw some slightly oddball picks. We had the Symmetra come out on the defense of Temple of Anubis. Maybe a little bit of a counter to Sombra, Blank.
Yeah, that was apparently a stolen comp. I don't know who they stole it from, but they should reconsider who they're stealing these things from. It was pretty cool. I mean, we got the Symmetra out, jumped onto the high ground, then we came back down again. I like the repositioning value you can get out of it, and you can never really pin down the Bastion. But I hope that more things do come out like that. We can see that. One big thing to talk about Symmetra, though, is on the counterpoint to Panda's side, is that Symmetra turrets do spy check Sombras. So if you are Sombra and you're cloaked, you will be decloaked by a Symmetra turret. And obviously she can toss these out now. She no longer has to be right up against the wall to pop it onto it. She can first sling those turrets downwind and catch out the Sombra off guard all over the map.
Throwing them out like Gambit. So pretty good time, certainly. Yeah, and especially with when you're playing those close chokes, you're right there, Blank. What's that? What is in that? Looks
that
great.
is
Apple juice.
It's orange juice, dude. 100%.
Oh, wow, okay.
Look at that
100%.
vitamin
Oh, well.
C.
Well, share it around. Come on, share the love. But yeah, I mean, you can control all of those chokes and try and make it work for you. But both of these teams, they haven't potentially had that sort of practice. So maybe we're going to see some slight disarray in these comps, Blank.
Yeah, well, Darkside, these guys apparently have never practiced together. I'll take that as a lie. I'm sure they have practiced together in certain games. No leaks allowed, on the other hand. I think they've had a little bit of practice. But Darkside, they've been together since August. Together, I don't know how loose that phrase is. Obviously, a good composition and communication between team members is absolutely crucial, especially in these types of games where calls have to be quick, they have to be clean. And I'm not sure what map we're going to be on the first. We've already saw it on Nepal. If you are not on those rotations, if you're not there controlling the map side, especially with Sombra in the mix now, if you don't get the crucial EMPs out before a team scatters and they're no longer coming through small apertures where it's easy to get that 6-man EMP, you're looking at a little bit of a problem. I wonder if we'll see more of a zeitgeist kind of coming back to 1.24, I believe, where we just had standard dive and Brigitte was in the mix with this free comp that you can play, or we might be going all the way